Payday is back, baby. Come to Hurley's to watch Payday and hang out with Ferrall and talk college and pro football. She just say I suck. I just don't see it. Everybody's talking about Brett Favre. That's all you ever hear about. Oh my God, he's back, Brett Favre, another saga. He's like a soap opera watching this guy have his comebacks and retirements. I think the ankle is going to be a problem for him all year. I mean, he's been in 2 preseason games and the ankle's already giving him fits and he's having injection shots, cortisone. You know he's going to go back to talking about, well, when I came in, you knew I had a bad ankle. You knew I went to see Dr. Andrews. You knew I shouldn't have played. I played because I felt I owed it to the Vikings. I owed it to the fans. Yeah, garbage. He's playing for one reason. He still believes that the Vikings can win the Super Bowl. And it all starts here in New Orleans. Against the Super Bowl champs, Drew Brees. Nobody can stop him. But the Vikings are the ones with all the problems going into this game. Lots of injuries, migraines, hip surgeries, ankles, bad receivers. It smells like Saints to me in the opener. I think it's going to be a great game. Now I want to look at some of the other big games that are going to be going on. Now, of course, that's the Thursday night game, September 9th, to kick off the NFL season. So let's shift gears and go to Sunday, September 12th. Really, in all actuality, the first day of the NFL season. These are the games that I think are going to be the best games on the 12th. The best games of the day, I'll start with the Colts and Texans. Can anyone test Peyton Manning and the Colts this year? Can anybody go with them the distance in their division or in the AFC? Can anybody stop Peyton Manning from doing what he does? Go to Super Bowls, winning 12 games every year. If there's a team that can do it, it's Matt Schaub and the Texans. But Schaub's good. Johnson, their receiver's a stud. They got a great running game. They've been on the cusp the last couple of years of getting into the playoffs, falling just shy. I think the Texans get in the playoffs this year, and I think they couldn't have started it in a bigger way in the division than to see these two teams hook up. And the game's in Houston, so you know it's going to be rocking at Reliant. The other games I like on the 12th are the Bengals and the Patriots. The game's at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Tom Brady, determined to get a new deal. He's in the last year of his contract. I mean, he looked like he was all kinds of fired up in training camp. In preseason games, he was serious. In fact, in week 3, played the whole game. Nobody does that in the NFL, letting a star quarterback play the entire preseason game in week 3. But he did, because he's so hell-bent on getting his team ready and well-oiled and synced up for the season. And I think it's because he doesn't like what he's been seeing. I mean, they look great against the Rams. Their passing game, the bomb to Moss, perfect timing, loaf of bread, easy score. But they lost that game. I don't think they care about the wins and losses during the preseason, but Tom Brady. Now, this game has a lot going for it. I think the Patriots are a tough team to play in Foxborough, for one. But the Bengals have a lot to prove. You got a simple storyline here. Ocho Ferrall and T.O., Terrell Owens, can they coincide? Can they get along? Can the marriage work? Will it be successful in the Queen City? And who's Carson Palmer going to throw to more? By week 8, one of them's going to be complaining that he's not getting enough passes. Get ready for the T.O. and Ocho Cinco show. That's all there is in Cincinnati. They're a team that can make the playoffs, but they're not going to win the Super Bowl. And I guarantee it, it's not happening with those two clowns running the show. When you got clowns running your team, you don't win Super Bowls. Peyton Manning's a winner. Ocho Cinco and T.O., I'm not saying they're losers. I'm saying they're clowns. They should be in the circus. It's all about their TV shows and their fame and their Twitters, and they're just idiots. Okay? When you're an idiot, you're not winning a Super Bowl. Idiots don't win Super Bowls. They go to media day and act like an idiot, and they get a lot of attention, and then they make more money, but they don't win the game. So you heard it here. Bengals will do nothing this year, so don't worry about it. And I say they lose in Foxborough. Here's a game I'm interested in, the Falcons and Steelers. There's only one reason I'm interested in this game, and it's because Ben Roethlisberger's not playing. So what are the Steelers going to be like against Matty Ice, Ryan, and the Falcons? A good team, great tight end, great receivers, Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez, Michael Turner in the backfield, solid defense, great organization the last couple of years. I like what they're doing there. Thomas Dimitroff, the GM, Arthur Blank. They've recovered from Michael Vick. They got a franchise quarterback, and they're going to Heinz Field, and I say the Falcons beat the Steelers, get the job done. That's right, on opening day. That's why I bet they end up starting Leftwich. He gets rocked all day, and Ryan throws the ball like mad on the Steelers, and the Falcons get the job done. That's the only reason this is an interesting game, is to see what the Steelers are made of without Big Ben, their star quarterback. Let's look at some of the other big games on the first Sunday in the NFL. I think this game is an absolute must for fans to see. The Eagles hosting the Packers at Lincoln Financial. Let's face it, Kevin Cobb's first start with the Eagles in front of a hostile crowd, his own crowd, booing him. He'd better get that offense rolling from the get-go. They're going to start screaming and yelling because, you know, they got rid of McNabb and said, all right, Kevin, you're in charge of the offense now. You're the future of the franchise. Andy Reid's put all the pressure on his shoulders. And who does he get to run into? But Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, who might have the most vaunted offense in the NFC. A lot of people think it'll be the Packers against either the Saints or Cowboys in the title game. The way that Rodgers has developed, he's having huge seasons, huge touchdowns, huge yardage, great receivers, running game, great defense. The Packers are dangerous. This is going to be a huge test for the Eagles, and it's going to be wild not to see Donovan McNabb running that football team and to see Cobb in charge. I don't think he can handle it. I think he's eventually going to be the guy, and I think eventually he's going to be good and get the job done. But I think that Aaron Rodgers might be too much for Cobb in his first game in Philadelphia. Here's another first. The Seahawks, Pete Carroll, his first game, he gets it at home against the Big 12 man up in Seattle. They're going to be rocking up there for sure in the Pacific Northwest against the team favored to win that division, the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think that the 49ers are that great. I think they got the most exciting linebacker in the NFL in Willis. I think Alex Smith is average at best. I think he's coming around. I think he's learning the system. I think he's getting some reps and some, consistency with his offensive coordinator. You got the same guys in place, same team in place, same players in place. I like the momentum that they're moving in and the direction that they're heading in under Singletary. Class again, focus. There's no joking around. It's all about winning. And I think they're, doing the right things out in the Bay. I still think San Francisco is a better football team than Seattle, but this game's going to go either way. It's not going to be easy for them to go into Seattle and push around the Seahawks. I don't think the Seahawks are a good team. I don't think Pete Carroll's a good NFL coach. I think Pete Carroll ran out of L.A. because he knew that USC was going to get put on probation and a bunch of people were going to get in trouble, and he didn't want to be one of them. He's too busy writing books. He's too busy making money. He's too busy smiling and tell you how much he loves God and how friendly he is to everybody, and he's always a positive guy. He ran out of L.A. because he was in trouble, and everybody knows it, and now he's in Seattle. First of all, who would move to Seattle that lives in L.A.? I mean, who in their right mind would leave Lipstick City and the power that he had at USC to go run the Seahawks? I mean, this isn't Mike Holmgren here. This is a guy, Pete Carroll, who's a legendary, great college football coach with a football factory he was running. Now he's got no talent. Let's see how he does in Seattle. I say he's going to be horrible, and it's not going to work out. Didn't work out anywhere else he was either in the pros. He's a college football coach at best. The game of the night is clearly at night. It's the Sunday nighter, Cowboys and Redskins, from FedEx in our nation's capital. The district's going to be rocking, and you got the Cowboys and Romo against McNabb and the Skins. The question is, will McNabb be better by then? Will the ankle be fine by then? Will the Skins be in a hole already? I think Dallas is a better football team than the Redskins. I do think that the Redskins are going to win games this year, but I think early on they're going to try to find themselves. Of course, the big story is Mike Shanahan, and everybody's excited that he's in D.C., but he spent his entire offseason and preseason fighting with Fat Albert Hainsworth. So that was a big joke. This guy refuses to cooperate. His teammates hate him. His head coach is slamming him. He's saying things in the media that are ridiculous. I think it all catches up with the Redskins, and they go back to being the lousy team that they've been the last few years. And I say Dallas gets it done against them on Sunday night. Monday night, there's a doubleheader. You got the Ravens and Jets. Now, the Jets have promised that they're going to win the Super Bowl to everyone that'll listen. I mean, they got Hard Knocks. They got a coach with a foul mouth. By the way, he's still fat and ugly. He had the band put around his stomach, and it didn't work. That's because he pounds junk food all day. They got all the talent in the world. They got maybe the best defense in the NFL, but they got a quarterback that threw 20 interceptions last year that hasn't found his groove yet as a quarterback in the NFL. What he did in the playoffs was not screw up enough to get him into that title game. And they had a shot in that title game against the Colts, and they let him. And then something happened at halftime where Peyton Manning just said, this isn't going to continue, and I'm going to come out and rub this team out in the second half, and they did exactly that, and the Colts went on to the Super Bowl. But I think that the Jets are going to have a very solid season. If Sanchez can minimize the picks, play smart, let the defense do the rest. Pace is out with an injury, thus more Jason Taylor. I still say that's going to be a heck of a game because I love Flacco and the Ravens. I like John Harbaugh. He's a great coach, great team, great defense. Very strong offense, running game, quarterback, receivers. They got Anquan Bolden now. And I just think they're really tough. And I think the Ravens can give the Jets fits. In fact, I think this is the game of the week. This is the game of the week, the Ravens and the Jets, without a doubt. And the Chargers and Chiefs, the game's at Arrowhead. Anything could happen. I still think Matt Castle was overpaid. I think he's overrated. I think he's average at best. I thought that the Patriots made him look good when he was throwing passes after Brady blew out his knee. And I do think that the Chargers are better than the Chiefs, and the Chargers should get the job done against the Chiefs, even though the game's in Kansas City. Phillip Rivers is just better than Matt Castle, and I'm always going to take a better quarterback over one or the other. Take the better quarterback, better receivers, better defense. Generally, you're going to get a win. I'll take San Diego in Kansas City. Those are the best games in the NFL in Week 1. You got to love it. Football's back, baby. People are losing weight. They're drinking beers, they're watching games, they're eating junk food, they get the popcorn going, they don't even look at their wife anymore, their kids don't even matter to them. You got to love it from Hurley's, kicking you out the best NFL matchups of Week 1. Hang with us every week from Hurley's on Pain Day. Everybody's doing it, they just won't admit it.